Welcome, one and all, to the Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast for our review of Super ShowDown. I am the devilishly handsome outlaw himself, your king and sultan of extreme, Phil KOE, joined by my cast of indomitable broadcast partners, the one and only...
Still sober, Tony fucking G for a couple of more days.
Non-alcoholic beer, I told you, sir. We don't allow non-alcoholic beer in this house. And joined by my other indomitable broadcast partner of dog and chicken show fame, the one, the only Chicken.
Yes, your U.S. champ, your former tag team champ, somebody who's beaten Phil in the ring. Yes,
Lies, communism propaganda.
Glad to join you, fellas.
And you know, Chicken, just because you guys are staying sober for a little while longer, I figured I get one more chance. This is a marvelous Hampton Estate Overproof Rum, 1 ounce, marvelous stuff. I call this Pineapple Grog. It's my own little personal cocktail, and this is just for you, buddy. Just for money in the banking me. Right at the last minute before I had a chance to even know you were competing for the title. So, if nothing else, neener, na. I get a drink and you don't, man.
Yeah, Phil was not privy to you making your debut for this illustrious house show in the desert.
Money in the bank running on me. So, that's marvelous, sweet and molasses.
So, I gave you fair warning that I was pushing for Triple Champ Chicken, so that will not stop. I can't have Tony 2 belts if I'm not Triple Champ Chicken.
I still don't even know what 2 belts he already has.
A champion must be ready for challenges from all directions at all times. So, as a fighting champion as I am totally looking forward to just decimating you here in the desert, Chicken. A couple of things you didn't take into account on booking. One, and we'll get into this later, the Saudis like Ole Anderson's booking philosophy, so we'll see who ends up being correct on that one. But Chicken, you have no chance taking this, sir. Why do you even think? What makes you believe you have the wrestling knowledge or prowess to take this marvelous gold from me?
The way I see it is if you could take it from Tony, then anybody should be able to take it from you, because that's the real challenge, is taking it from Tony. So you're not the real threat here.
I was going to say, because really you're actually competing with me. He's kind of just a placeholder, but I digress.
Right.
He's kind of a tiebreaker, like, just kind of, fit in there.
Heavy hangs the head that wears a crown. And gentlemen, your jealousy is so unbecoming of you. So, as I'm known to say around here, all that being said, as your champion...
I can't hear anything now.
It doesn't matter. They're just here to hear my beautiful voice. The Undertaker won this gauntlet match. Just came in, one single move, dominated. Basically, is kind of like a replaying of if you and I, Chicken, were to have a rematch, rubber match right now. It'd be just me coming in, one choke slam move, 1, 2, 3, and that's it. All right, so Undertaker coming in and show it, from one ring general to another, Mr. Undertaker. I can understand it. Sometimes you just got to get in there and show them how it's done. Gentlemen, do you have anything to add to that?
Fucking wow.
I know. Wow. I know. I mean, like Aristotle-like truth. Socratic Socrates-like truth.
These are a lot easier when I can drink booze. So that was about at least a 30 to 40 minute match, and obviously Undertaker wasn't even announced for the match, but he pops in as a surprise, made about $2 million to choke slam and win against AJ. Gauntlet matches are impossible to really give a rating to because so much goes on and they're so long. For a gauntlet match, even the standards, if Undertaker wouldn't have made the surprise entrance, it was pretty weak. I'll give it 2 as far as a gauntlet goes.
Chicken, what do you give it, sir?
So I was texting Tony off to the side as we're all watching it. Of course, I'm 4 hours away. So R-Truth starts this whole thing off, and somehow he just miraculously is making it through these. And it's a gauntlet match. I'm not totally familiar with gauntlet matches, but if that's a gauntlet match, I don't ever want to see one again. That was awful. The whole first half of it.
Good one on Raw.
That was a awful, like the first half of it was just terrible. And yeah, if it wasn't for AJ coming in, I think the joke I sent you, Tony, was, I don't know if we call him R-Truth. I'd rather just call him Dodge, because that was the only offense he had, was when he was dodging somebody.
Fair.
But yeah, AJ coming in and toying with him, having some fun. I enjoyed that. Made me giggle and smile, him trying to dance. And it was slightly entertaining. And then, of course, Taker, I've always been a big Taker fan since, little wee tot back in the day. So anytime I get to see him, I'm always happy with that. So yeah, if it weren't for AJ and Taker, I was going to give it a 1, but the end of it, at least it got better there. So I agree, 2. I give it 2 stars.
My goodness, you uncultured swine, you.
They've given away better gauntlet matches on Raw and SmackDown.
Yes, but how many of them had The Undertaker in it? Yeah, that's right. That's right. That, whether any of you like to admit it or not, R-Truth actually told a pretty good story in the beginning of this match.
He could have done that on Raw.
And I got to give Corey Graves credit for possibly the call of the night. Bobby Lashley and Lana in this Nicholas Sparks-like romance. That one popped me pretty hard. All that being said, yeah, AJ being AJ, doing his thing. And who could forget the Oscar-winning performance of Eric Rowan coming down with his little cage? That'll be the most memorable thing of the night, truly. But all that being said, I'm going to give it 2.5.
I think you're being generous.
Undertaker.
Yeah.
So, yes, I could be a little generous with Undertaker.
Yeah.
And it was Undertaker AJ. Did you ever think you're going to see that?
No, never.
So, all that being said, 2.5, 1.
Yeah, he said 2 since Undertaker.
Okay.
I'm with.
Yeah, I bumped it up to 2. I got to be fair. I'm a Taker fan. I got culture. Don't call me a swine.
Exactly. I would have rated it lower.
Cultured swine.
I would have rated it
fighting
lower.
words, sir.
Yes. Them's fighting words. Well, you are challenging for my championship, sir, so I would expect a little bit of fighting words. So, all that being said, we move on to Miz and Morrison versus It's a New Day. Yes, it is. And we will see if Chicken has any chance of getting this belt. Yes, we will. The winners of this match, the rightful winners, is the right decision. And new SmackDown Tag Team Champions, Miz and Morrison. And Tony, you're going to lose your tooth doing that someday, and don't lose it to a non-alcoholic beer. My God.
That's fair.
All that being said, Miz Morrison, from one champion to another, I understand the fact that it's really hard. You're going to have everybody gunning for you, even people you don't expect to be gunning for you, like I do with that rapscallion ne'er-do-well Chicken, who just out of nowhere came in and challenged the great Phil KOE, but worry not, KOE Nation. For Miz and Morrison have become the champions, and Chicken, it is that much harder for you to capture this glorious championship. Tony, back me up on this.
So the match.
Yeah, there was a match.
Yeah.
But more importantly, Phil KOE is one step closer to retaining his championship.
As am I, but go ahead. Chicken, I'd love to hear your
thoughts
on the match.
Oh, wow. Well, first, I applaud you, Phil, for, being a nice big brother, fatherly figure to my pal Tony, making sure you're watching out for his teeth there and his dental records of the future. Don't want him having any missing teeth. We've already had enough of that back in the day.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's fair.
True.
Fair enough. Anyway,
is nobody going to talk about the fucking match?
It was a pretty decent match.
That's what I'm trying to get to. Shit.
Kofi took just a flat back bump over the top rope that made me.
Yeah, that was nice.
Ouch.
That was a hell of a good spot. And Big E kicked out of the skull-crushing finale, but it was
Yeah,
good.
but nobody does that.
No, most people don't do that. It was a really good match. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I think they said I wanted a little bit longer, but I get it. You got to move this thing along.
Did you really?
I wanted more.
Okay.
I really did. I'm actually looking forward to a rematch. So this really, it's a good starting off point, even though the championship changed. So
let them do that again at WrestleMania.
Absolutely.
With some more time.
Yep.
Few more handcuffs taken off. Yeah, this would be a great match. Gentlemen, star rating.
I'll give this solid 3.
Chicken, bang, bang. What do you give this?
Yeah, I thought overall it was really entertaining. Coming off of a really disappointing prior match, like this was fun. You mentioned, falling flat on his back there. There was a lot of good stuff. It was very entertaining. It was fast paced. I agree. It would have been fun to watch it go longer. I might be a little bit more generous, but maybe again that's because of the dullness of the prior match. I go 3.5.
Fair. All right. Bill?
As much as I do love me some Miz, and he's good at what he does, I'm going to give that 2.75.
Okay.
I just felt there's too many handcuffs on him. I don't know if it's because where they are,
Yes.
travel schedules, jet lag.
And yes.
All right. All that being said, I'm really looking forward to their 59 rematches on Raw and house shows in the coming weeks. So,
on to Garza Carrillo, it looks like.
And we're finally going to point up on you.
Don't count on it.
Catch you later, folks. Oh, and chicken. This one's for you.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
Oh, so delicious. And the winner of this match, totally wrong decision. Totally wrong way to go with this. Umberto unfortunately lost.
You remember that scene in
you.
Spider-Man 3 when Tobey Maguire's dancing like a dork?
No.
That's what I'm doing right now, those of you who can't see.
No.
Everybody does. Angel Garza wins the match, giving me the point. Nobody else had him to win because I am that damn good.
So, KOE Nation, worry not. I still am going to retain my championship this evening. It comes down to the War Viking Raider Experience Machine Thrill Ride in Space. We'll see.
That's neither here nor there, Phil. Nobody's worried about that just yet. What'd you think of the match, Chicken?
Congrats on the win there, T. I'm down 2 on here, so my chances of winning this are slim to none now, but the night is young. We'll see what happens as we go on. I as well do have the Viking War Machine, whatever Phil said. I have them picked as well.
Chicken.
Yes, Phil.
Not to rub the salt in the wound there, good buddy, but your chances were slim to none the minute you decided to challenge the King of Extreme. So, sorry there, buddy, old pal, but another day perhaps. And for you, enjoy it while it lasts. This victory will be short-lived. But, all that being said, the match itself, am I the only one that felt like this was a big disappointment?
Nope. This was very underwhelming for what we expected. We thought they'd have a much better chemistry, be it jet lag, be it something in the air. I don't know.
They're cousins. They've been tag teams for decades. They've worked with each other throughout Mexico. You would have thought they would have a 4-star match just on the ready at any given time.
This wasn't it. Wasn't it.
Nope.
And the crowd was not into it at all.
It was crickets. There was nothing there.
Nope.
Yes.
Oh, yep, I hear him. I still hear him.
Yeah, now, here's a question. Are there crickets in Saudi Arabia?
There were tonight.
Ow!
What do you think about this one, Chicken?
No, so I'm not familiar with either of these guys, but I seen the potential
We've seen them both live, and we didn't give a shit. I mean, we wanted the match to be good, but it got bad halfway through.
I seen the potential you saw in this match, and I see how this could turn into a good match. And that's probably why I'd give it 2.25. I was thinking between 2 and 2.5, but I'm going 2.25 because, yeah, I think it could have been a lot better. The ending was probably the most disappointing to me. Just roll up after roll up. That's overplayed. I'm done with those, especially with something hyped up like this. You guys got me excited for this match, and you guys disappointed me. That's not the first time Phil's disappointed me, by the way.
Fair. That's fair.
Well,
That's on us.
I'm sure it was very disappointing when you went down for the pile driver in the 1-2-3 and you weren't able to capture the RXW championship. But that's another story for another day, boys and girls. But all that being said, what do you give it?
I give it 2. I think it was really not what we had hoped.
I think you're being generous because it helped you get closer to the championship, and I am giving it 1.5 stars, and I'm probably still being generous.
You're being jaded.
No, I'm being generous is what I'm being. So, all that being said, it's going to happen at least once on the podcast over all these years. Join us for the next match, folks. It's going to be the Monday Night Messiah and the artist formerly known as Buddy Murphy.
Yes.
Defending their tag team championships. We'll see how it goes, folks. And the winners of this match.
All 3 of us.
Hey! I
got one. The Monday Night Messiah and the artist formerly known as Buddy Murphy defeated the Street Profits. Now, I do have to ask, Montez Ford, when he came down, what was in that styrofoam cup? He's in Saudi Arabia. There's no alcohol served there. Huh.
So, Jacob, what did you think of this match?
There was some really cool things going on here. I wish they would have shown the replay where he just launched him into the table. I was like, how did they not show that replay? That was incredible. That dude's strength, and you could see it on a couple different spots throughout there of like, it was, I don't know if maybe he's just that roided out, maybe he's just that strong, maybe they're meaning to make it look like that, but I was like, there's room for some dangerous spots in here. I don't know. There was some good stuff in there. Overall, I didn't think it was great by any means. There were some really, really fun parts in there. There was, some of the high flying. That frog splash was, man, I don't know how he didn't blow his knee out. That thing was so high. But I'd say, I don't know, I'm going to 2.75.
Yeah, Montez Ford gets some serious hang time on his top rope arsenal. Yeah, I agree. I thought there was some really good spots, but overall, none of these matches are getting a crap look.
Oh, damn it! Damn it! They're showing the replay from Super ShowDown's kickoff earlier tonight. It showed the OC defeating the War Viking Raider Experience Machines and Space Pirates of the Caribbean Ultimate Thrill Ride. Tony G!
I'm just going to check my card here, but
Tony G!
That means...
No!
That means I get a point.
No! It can't be!
There.
No! You are wrong, sir! This is a lie! This is communist propaganda! This is... I don't know what you mean, sir! No! This belt stays right here! No! No!
I'll just put that right here for now. Yeah, we'll just put that right there. I'm trying not to get ahead of myself because we have got to talk about this important tag team match that we just saw. And Montez Ford has some real potential, and stop it.
Yeah.
And they're slowly starting to win me over on the weekly shows, and I didn't feel like this was going to be their night anyway. We all picked Rollins and Murphy to retain, and they did. Match-wise, I wasn't blown away myself either. A few good things, but I'd give it a 3. I think a solid 3. Phil.
Raspberries.
Okay.
I'm going to give it the match we saw, the Monday Night Messiah and stuff, good match, 2.7.
Okay. So on that note,
But chicken.
we're going to do this real quick and go. Oh, it feels so comfortable. It's nice and warm. Thanks for that. But yeah, that might have been your most successful title run thus far. So, barring some cataclysmic event, I am a 5-time champion unless we have some craziness.
Oh no! You mean to tell me that you, Tony G, are now the five-time RWP World Champion? I am ashamed, sir, but congratulations on that. Now,
I'm not christening it just yet, I will hold it.
I'm doing the Dale Gribble right now, though. It's like, well, if I can't win, I can at least beat Hank. That's better than winning. Well, if I can't win, I at least beat Chicken, and that's better than winning. And, well, you know, Chicken, in hard times like this, when I have really difficult things like losing the RWP Championship, sometimes it's good to have just a nice little toddy to take the edge off. It's good.
That's all good and well, Phil, but nobody cares since you're not the champ anymore. So, Tony, congratulations, fella. Be looking forward to coming after that one. But any words for the KOE Nation and to let them down a little softly?
Well, I mean, really, deep down, he's used to it, so it's not like I need to console him that deep.
Worry not, KOE Nation. I'll be getting it back shortly at AEW Revolution.
Yeah, this could be the shortest title reign ever.
Yeah, I might finally be able to get rid of my 6-day shortest title reign. You might.
I could have a 2-day title reign, but that's neither here nor there.
Raspberries!
We still have a few matches left on this card, but it's looking good for me to officially be rechristened the 5-time champion.
Did what Mansoor does.
Yep, he wins in Saudi Arabia.
His Goldberg-like undefeated streak continues in Saudi Arabia. So, Chicken, were you impressed with this match?
Goldberg-like win streak. I don't know if I'd put it that way. I get it. It's his hometown, but wow.
Considering these events are going to be going on for 10 years, I would expect one from him.
Oh,
it's a 10-year deal.
It's a bad deal. So the first half of the match, like I thought the first half was pretty good, and I thought they were starting to get into a rhythm there about halfway through. But I don't know if Mansoor's getting tired or maybe he got injured or just stopped caring because he knew. I don't know. Whatever. But the last like minute and a half was garbage from Mansoor. And like Ziggler is trying to sell this match. He tried so hard and he was doing great, but Mansoor just and that last it was some kind of he did a backflip the backflip moonsault thing. And lands on his chest with his knees, and totally missed the spot. I was like, "Oh my!" And then gives a speech afterwards of, the crowd's only half into him saying, we showed the WWE. I'm like, I don't know, and half the crowd's booing him. It could have been a 3.5. The ending was so bad. 2. I give it a 2.
Yeah, I agree. I thought I wasn't getting really caught up into it even before the ending, but yeah, it was serviceable. And then, it just really started going south. And that's why Dolph's in there with this guy, because Dolph can have a very good serviceable match with anybody. And unfortunately for Dolph, I mean, he ouch.
Did the McMahon family a favor tonight. Also, did you catch how many times Mansoor almost botched pretty bad, and Dolph Ziggler seamlessly catches it and saves it? This match is a real testament to Dolph Ziggler. This was one of Dolph Ziggler's broom handle moments.
Yeah.
So Like I said previously, he is this generation's Lance Storm. He can make anybody look good in the ring with him. I'm going to agree with you guys. 2-star match,
Yeah,
and it was all Dolph. But yeah, get used to this guy, Mansoor. You're going to be seeing it, Mansoor. You're going to see him for a while. 10-year deal. He's the only established local-grown star as of right now. He's going to be on this event for the next 10 years. And like Tony said, how long until they decide, hey, we want a title on our guy?
Yeah, I think I'm hoping that they'll at least agree to a regional Saudi Arabia type championship and not Saudi Prince is making demands of world heavyweight championships on Mansoor. But we'll cross that
Vince
bridge.
would compromise and give him the NXT title. You hate to say it, right?
Yeah.
So, all that being said, gentlemen, I'm going to agree with you. A 2-star match is serviceable, but it is what it is. We got it. It's part of the package deal, and we are moving right along. Chicken, maybe you should have taken, Dolph Ziggler. He had a good chance. It might have helped your chances a bit. I mean,
obviously
or at least wouldn't have changed them. So, just a thought. To you, pal. To you.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks.
Anytime. So, onward and upward to the next match, folks.
So that match sucked ass.
I don't know what you're talking about. Brock Lesnar in this match really showed us why he is challenging Bret Hart for the title of the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. That was a true technical masterpiece that makes Shawn Michaels weep with envy. Yeah, that sucked. Of course that sucked. My God, that was terrible. But
I think that may have been the equivalent to Brock Lesnar having a match with an outlaw mall mannequin.
Now, what that match would be is, now imagine me as Brock Lesnar, and Ricochet as Brock Lesnar. I'd say, okay, Brock, just come at me in reality. Just try to take me down, try and take me out, and we're just going to see what happens. And it would be me mauling him, hitting my finish, and in a minute and a half, retaining my title.
Right.
So that's really what that was. Okay. That was a demonstration. So I know Brock, he's got a lot of potential. But
I find your delusions are a lot more tolerable when I'm drinking. Chicken, what do you think of that match?
My thoughts would be, if I were Brock Lesnar and I've had to. If I was Brock Lesnar and I had to sit and listen to this or watch this whole presentation, because it's not really a good show, to be honest, if I had to sit and watch all of these matches up until this point, and I'd be like, oh my God, I have to represent the WWE. I'm just pissed right now. I want to go home. I'd just go out and smash somebody and get the fuck out of there as fast as I could. And that's pretty much what he did. So,
in a weird way, it kind of reminds me of when Andre the Giant had to put over the Ultimate Warrior. All that happened was the Ultimate Warrior would pick him up for a slam, cover him, and in 10 seconds he was in and out. And Andre just hated Warriors so much that he just thought the least amount of time that I can be in here is the least amount of time I'm being insulted. And it was an amazing payday, which is why he did it. But I don't think there's any animosity between Brock and Ricochet personally. I just think it's, Brock is like, I'm here, you're here to see me. Paul, do your thing. Let me beat this guy up and let's get out of here.
Yeah, I think that unfortunately this could have fallen in line with the classic matches Brock had with AJ, Daniel Bryan, Finn Balor. He fits that mold, does Ricochet. This match does not. And really unfortunate, because this could have been a special one, but
that was us in that shot.
None of the
we were right there in that shot, actually.
Yes, none of the matches tonight on this particular card are going to even come close to breaking a scale on a star scale. So I'm not shocked that this went the way it did. I'm just disappointed. This is a 1.5 star match.
Jagan?
Uno. I give it a big fat uno, and mainly Mainly, it's just the disappointment of any Brock match I've seen. He's turned into a 5-power move. I guess he's always been kind of a 5-power move. He's I'm going to German suplex you 50 times, give you an F5 and a spear every now and then. But it just, there's too many of these, and it makes me worry about the longevity of Lesnar in this, or even going back. Of course, I'm a UFC guy. Like, I know that ship sailed, but is the WWE ship sailing too? Is he ever going to have those epic matches anymore? Because it seems like this is all we see out of him anymore, and it's disappointing. I get it. I get it. Saudi Arabia, we didn't expect a lot, but God, I expected more than that. Like 30
Whenever
seconds more
Brock
than that.
starts to get that very criticism, I've always noticed. Whenever that very criticism is being levied against him, that's right when he pulls out of his hat Brock Lesnar versus Daniel Bryan.
Yep.
Or Brock Lesnar versus AJ Styles. Or Brock Lesnar versus Finn Balor. Or even Brock Lesnar versus Bill Goldberg the last 2 times. Not the first one. But he seems to get this very long stretch of matches. Now, granted, his performance at Royal Rumble.
Well, there you have it.
That was
Ricochet was not his. People are bored of me. Here's a great match moment. It wasn't Ricochet.
He did have a great match last month, so he's like, nope, sorry, you got to wait at least 9 months.
Well, I was going to say the fact that he bumped his ass off for the Royal Rumble. Well, more importantly, he bumped his ass off and sold his ass off for Drew McIntyre, who he faces
a little bit
at WrestleMania.
So yeah, Ricochet in Brock's mind probably owed him a favor. So
at WrestleMania, you're going to see a great Brock Lesnar match. I have zero doubt about it.
Yep. So I'm gonna gotta grade this on a few scales. I give Paul Heyman's promo work trying to get this over 4 stars. I give the match 1.75 stars. Like, is that fair? Paul Heyman coming out, my client, Brock Lesnar. Like, he was, you think I was worked up? You saw him. Like, I'm worried about one of these days we're going to see Paul Heyman, the reigning undisputed.
On to the next match, folks.
The winner of this match, big shock, big surprise, Roman Reigns. Now, King Corbin, from one king to another, I understand heavy hangs the head that wears a crown. It can be very difficult. I mean, at the Royal Rumble, both of our royalty were at the same place. It was incredible. But tonight was Roman Reigns' night. Now, Tony, before we get any deeper, I think what really the fans are asking, demanding, is 6, maybe at least 15 more Roman Reigns, Baron Corbin matches on pay-per-view. That's, I'm saying, probably, we'll compromise at 12, but I think we haven't quite delved deep enough into this feud. We need more. There's more to be found here.
Okay, before I have an aneurysm in my head, Chicken, what'd you think of that?
So obviously we don't want God. It's just ignore everything Phil said. However, however, compared to how everything tonight has gone, I'll go with the critiques of the match. It's supposed to be a steel cage match. I expect a little bit more hardcore action going on. I get it. It's not the same as it was 10, 20 years ago. Steel cage matches actually meant something back then. Today, they're pretty nerf, I guess is one way to put it. But this was actually one of the better matches of the night, as much as I hate to admit that, and I wanted it to go longer. Like, if you're going to put an end to a feud that, I haven't had to suffer through, but you gentlemen sure have had to suffer through this feud forever, and just trying to catch up on this, I'm like, my God, like, this has got to be the most annoying feud ever. If you're going to put it to an end, make it worth it. Make it epic. Like, make the whole, however long this has lasted, worth it. Like, I don't know. It seemed a little short-sighted to me. It was very predictable how it would end. Hopefully it is actually ended. and we can move on from it. But I don't know. Overall rating, I 3.25. I want to give it more, but I can't just because the steel cage issue, and it should have went longer. It should have. I thought there was a lot more to do with it, and could have been a way better match.
Yeah, it suffers the same problem that all the other matches on this card are suffering, and that's just lack of a window, and they're not being given the amount of time it needs to actually hit that next gear. So that's gonna be the problem with all these matches. But no, so far this has been easily the best match of the night, and I'm gonna say something that the internet wrestling community is going to fucking hate, but this was a better match, cage match, than Cody versus Wardlow just the other night. This was better. That had a big spot. It had better drama. This was a better match. But yeah, I wanted a little bit more, but I thought this was a really fun match.
But Cody had a bigger spot,
yeah,
Tony.
He sure did. And I give this match...
I actually didn't like that.
I'm going to give this 3.5. I don't know why. I really liked this one.
Chicken, I will object to one thing you said, that this feud hasn't accomplished anything. It did.
Hey, you're not the champ anymore. Nobody cares about your criticisms. So.
Oh, silence, you little wannabe. You thought you even had a chance. You've never even touched gold. You don't even know what it's like having that weight and burden. So, you mere peasant. So,
Wow.
The king has to tell his subjects how it is from time to time.
That's cute.
Anyways, what this feud did accomplish is one thing. And it helped me get the Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast Championship on to the pay-per-view feed at Royal Rumble. So if nothing else, it accomplished that. The RWP Championship is forever burned into WWE and pro wrestling history, which basically makes it at least as good as the Universal Championship. At least. And if not times 2. So
star rating?
I gotta agree with you. 3.5 stars. It was a good match. And I gotta give Roman some credit. I mean, it was what it was. He was basically there to work the only gimmick match of the night. Baron Corbin and the two of them, I think it's almost like a dare between the two of them. See how long you can go in a single program without anybody getting injured. Because the two of them are but well known for not injuring anybody, which is why everybody likes working with them. And so just see how long they can keep it going. And so if anybody else gets injured working with them, everybody can just blame the other guy. So,
yeah.
But all that being said, Tony, that belt just doesn't look good there. At least it'll be coming back here real
You're
shortly.
Right. It doesn't look good. It looks fucking great. On to the next.
Yep.
Yes, Bailey. Yes, Bailey. Showing the Saudis how healing is done. That was good heel work 101. I mean, using the T-shirt to that was brilliant. That was brilliant. I loved how she actually showed villainy from a female to an audience that is not used to that.
Yeah.
So I'll be honest with you, I probably liked that match a bit more than you guys might have.
No, I thought that was a great match. Given the circumstances, I was surprised how much emotion they were allowed to put into their character work, because the last go-around was very plain Jane wrestling contest. This was an actual character versus character match, and they were allowed to do pretty much everything they would normally do, maybe toned down just a touch. And I think because of that, the match was heightened by it. So I enjoyed the hell out of it. I thought it was a lot better than I expected. And honestly, it was probably second best match right behind the cage match for me of the night.
Chicken, what's your take?
I wouldn't disagree. I think Naomi, yeah, Yeah, there was work to be done. I think the flashiest thing that come out of one side of that match was just the shoes, but otherwise, overall overall I thought it was good. It was a good match, considering where it's at. I knew they had to have some kind of weird little get up with their clothing. I didn't realize they had to have like a full body onesie underneath of a t-shirt. So now I kind of get what you guys were talking about prior. But yeah, I thought when Bailey's screaming at the crowd to shut up, I'm like, you don't do that in Saudi Arabia. What are you doing, lady? You're gonna get killed. Like
you're screaming at somebody descended from royalty right now. And for a half second, they cut to a crowd reaction, and just the angriest looking dude I've ever seen in anything. Just and like, maybe don't cut to him. And so they just immediately cut out from him. But beyond that, Bailey, excellent heel work. And yeah, they got to wear a variant of the burkini. It's an actual thing. Look it up. And I like the fact that Bailey was able to get a victory off of the t-shirt, which illustrates the silliness and stupidity of it. And it's great visual storytelling because wrestling is a storytelling medium without dialogue. And I think that one simple little motion demonstrated more to the Saudi audience than I think is quite understood at this point. So, Tony, what do you give this some star ratings?
It was a good nod to what Bailey's been able to achieve in her title run this go around. So kudos to her. I give this a 3.25.
Chicken.
I tell you what, I appreciate the significance of what this match was more than anything. And yeah, like you said, telling the story of how the stupidity of the t-shirt and how they're doing this, and then allowing the heel work to go even beyond the match as she's going back up the ramp. She's still talking a little trash. Just for that alone, and what this could mean for the next one, that means these could start becoming really good eventually. Like they might be able to expand on this. I see where they're going with it. I hope they turn the dial up as the future goes on. So there's a lot of hope to on future ones of these. So I give it a 3.5 for the importance of this match. I think long term could be massive.
You guys are gonna disagree with me, but I'm gonna go 3.5. I think it was a great match, and like I said, visual storytelling that for the Saudi audience is going to be something that's called back to for a while. I think if this t-shirt thing is insisted upon for longer, you're going to see more heel work involving that until eventually they can wear just a burkini, which is basically covers from just under the chin all the way down to the bottom of the feet. And then over time, the idea is over 10 years to try and liberalize Saudi Arabia a little bit. And it's been slow going, but
baby steps.
Yep, it's requiring baby steps. So we'll see how it goes. Hats off to both you ladies, and I hope you make it back safe and sound.
So Goldberg's a two-time Universal Champion. I guess he's the only one to hold both the red and the blue iteration of the strap. He's a Hall of Famer. That did not go how anybody anticipated it to go.
Chicken, I'll let you have the next take here.
Let's recap this match. Brilliant writing, great storytelling. Starts it off with the spear. No way, never saw that one coming. And then can't get the pin, so all of a sudden mandible claw, and oh, okay, maybe it's gonna get interesting. Nope, Goldberg gets up. 3 more spears, and then all of a sudden the Fiend comes back with a mandible claw. We're like, okay, maybe this is gonna go somewhere. Nope. Then he attempts a jackhammer. Ended up being kind of a weird little suplex, and
that's always what it's been.
Gets the pin. I don't. what was that? that was who wrote that? Like, they need an Emmy.
That was basically how that match should have started. It should still be going for at least another 5 minutes. I understand we haven't seen a lot of long Goldberg matches, especially recently. So I guess not just the outcome. I mean, the match is a little disappointing, but I think I know what Phil's thinking over here, and I'd like to hear
it. The Fiend, the hottest act in all pro wrestling right now, selling the most merch, is no longer the Universal Champion. Now, hang on. Because this part's going to be the twist.
Okay.
Now, Vincent Kennedy McMahon, just when I thought you couldn't do anything more stupid, you go and do this and completely redeem yourself. Oh my God. Goldberg. I'm sorry, I can't help it. At the end of the day, I'm still a fucking Goldberg mark. Oh my God, this is the only way you could ever get the belt off the Fiend in a million years is put it on somebody that the super Marky Mark and the Marky Bunch is going to be like, oh, Goldberg is back. So, yes, Fiend's Universal title reign. I'm so sorry, we barely knew ye, but Goldberg! Did you know Goldberg is back? He's this dude. He does a spear and a jackhammer-like move once in a while and almost kills the Undertaker.
Yeah,
but other than that,
surprised it wasn't the Brain Buster tonight.
Yeah, it was close. But what can I say?
His timing on the jackhammer sucked 20 years ago. I'm sorry, but I gotta say
it was okay 20 years ago. It started getting bad 15 years ago. Okay. So, all that being said, damn it!
How do you rate that, chicken?
So the timing of the jackhammer, I blame Kevin Nash and the taser because that's when it went downhill. But beyond that, rating of the match, honestly, like I get Phil's sentiment. You know, I watched Goldberg from the start. I remember when he was like 150, or he made it to almost 200, I think, before Kevin Nash and that whole thing. But I expected a hell of a lot more out of this. 1.5.
Yeah, I thought they were doing a good job telling the opening of that match. I thought they were about the time he hit the jackhammer, before he got the freak out, I'm like, okay, we're probably at the midpoint because we know it's not going to go long. And regardless of the outcome, like I feel we're at that midpoint. We've gotten to the point where now, okay, he's going to kick out of the jackhammer. And then he's going to hit probably one of his big moves, and they're going to go back and forth a little bit. And then even if Goldberg wins, I thought we were going to go somewhere with this, but that was it. I think we all kind of feel cheated match-wise, and yeah, this is really disappointing. I guess my big takeaway here is I feel like this sets up either they can do a rematch at WrestleMania, which I doubt is going to happen, or this sets up Roman Reigns versus Goldberg for the Universal title, which is like a 99% lock, if I'm being honest.
And for King of the Spear. That's the other big one. But
there you go.
So what do you give it?
I liked where they were going with it, and then it ended 5 minutes too quickly, and 1.5. You know what? Story-wise, they still did what they could with what little they were given to do. 1.75.
I don't understand. Like, come on. Goldberg won the Universal Champion. At least 7 stars. No, I'm kidding.
Hold on. What were they given to do? There was literally 3 moves in the entire match.
Spear, mandible claw, and jackhammer. And hey, like the Meatloaf song goes, 'cause 2 out of 3 ain't banging.
Well, that's the thing. Bray Wyatt has found a way to be captivating when put into a position like this. He's still very alluring, and obviously the script for this match was really against him, and he still managed to tell a great story in his own way. So that's why I'm even giving this more than 1.5. That's the only reason.
My honest rating,
As a match, it's like a 1.
just you don't understand the nuances of a Goldberg. I can't even say that in a straight face. But no, I'm sorry. I don't care. Wash me in your judgment. 2.75. Goldberg, he won the Universal title. Fuck all of you. Goldberg, Universal Champion. Goldberg. You remember when we saw him take on Shane Douglas?
Yep.
That was awesome.
And Am I Smooth? That was
yes, we got to see him live twice. Yeah, if you can't tell, a bit of a Goldberg mark. So, as much as I hate to say, brilliant move, because it's the only way you can get the belt off of Fiend without people shitting on it. I mean, you two are already shitting on it, but
I wanted more.
Well, yes, and I'll give you that. Yes. There was much more story to tell, and they'll probably tell a little bit more at Elimination Chamber.
Let's see what happens, I guess.
But, as I'm prone to say, folks, all that being said, folks, this has been a very special edition.
Just a second, Phil. I think you're forgetting something.
Oh.
Now that the show has come to a conclusion and it's set in stone, I would like a drum roll, please. Tony Two Belts is officially a thing.
God
Bask
damn
in it. Yes.
Boo!
Yes.
You rapscallion ne'er-do-well.
It feels pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Looks pretty damn good.
Roberto Carrillo, you did this to me. So
yeah.
he actually did. And the War Viking Raider experience from another dimension from Dimension X. Yes, those bastards. So.
All that being said,
Chicken, despite the fact that you're a rapscallion, a ne'er-do-well, and you rated the lowest on this pay-per-view.
By one match. I was behind you by one match because I took a chance. Because I took a chance. And only being down.
Win, sir.
Being down one behind the former champ, I like my odds moving forward.
That's
well, fair. You know, I'll gladly accept my silver medal, and I'll drink to that, sir.
Either way, this was an intriguing event, not a stellar show top to bottom by any means, but even then, this was a fun endeavor on our part, and we are glad Chicken decided to throw his hat in the race and join us for this one.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me, fellas.
Absolutely.
Oh, no problem, Chicken. Despite the fact that you're a rapscallion ne'er-do-well, we do appreciate your presence.
Nobody cares. You're not the champ.
And I was about to loan the Dog and Chicken show some of our views next time, but you know, oh, Jesus. Really? You're doing the Chris Jericho? Well,
see,
much like Chris Jericho's title reign, it won't last long. Neither will Daniel Bryan's. Remember where it went the night after? So, yeah, that's not – actually, thank you for making me feel better. But, Chicken, I do appreciate you trying. And, you know, despite your, attempts to get under my skin, really, sir, your jealousy is just unbecoming of you. It's I get it. When you're the king, everybody's trying to take shots at you. But we'll just have to see. And when you come down here, sir, this very table here, I hate to say it, sir, I will drink you right under it.
Yeah.
You have no chance.
I don't think you know who you're talking to, bud.
Oh.
All right. Man, the gauntlet's being thrown down. But if I may, all that being said.
Hey, that's my line.
Not anymore. It's not. This has been.
That's not how that works.
This has been Super ShowDown.
You gotta beat me for my catchphrase. That's how it works.
And we enjoyed ourselves tonight. Some of us more than others. Like, share, subscribe, folks. I am Tony fucking G, signing off and handing it off to my indomitable broadcast partners.
The one and only Phil KOE, the Michael Jordan of wrestling podcasting, the Muhammad Ali of alcohol podcasting, the Thanos and Iron Man combined of all podcasting in general. Phil KOE. Chicken, take it away, sir.
And don't forget, the future triple champ. I'm coming for him, fellas. It will happen, and it will happen soon. Better watch out.
We wait eagerly, folks.